Okay. Uh, I was just gonna say that Sayaka Bishuasi. No other woman named Sayaka. Okay, only Sayaka Bishuasi. That's her name. If your name is something other, I'm not talking to you, and I'm sorry that I'm using your name, but a lot of people have that name. So if you happen to have this name and this is not for you, uh, you know, uh, my name, AJ. Growing up, there was only one other person who had it. AJ Foyt, the race car driver, and I was proud of that. But did I ever think I was being mistaken for him? No. So I never saw him until I got to be an old man, and then I saw he's a gigantic man. He's nothing. He doesn't look anything like me. Oh well. Okay. So what I was trying to say was that Sayaka, I don't want to be. Uh, let me put this camera so that I can use my hands when I talk. Um, I don't want to be a success at anything. I don't want to work. The work world, man, hated me. Okay, and you probably might not like to hear this, but somebody actually once said to me, "There's the door." Why? I don't know. I was typing over 90 words a minute accurately, but I wasn't smiling enough. So, there's the door, a woman said to me. Uh, now, so I don't want the work world. As I've said in these recordings, I'm misunderstood instinctively everywhere I go. And that's not going to find a remedy in this lifetime, okay? The way I was abused, it's created a scar, let's say, on me or an injury on me that everybody responds to the same way worldwide instinctively. And it's not a good way for me because it's a complete misunderstanding of what happened, okay? That's the best I can do, okay? So, um, what I want to say is, I don't want to be a success at anything. I don't want to be a writer. I don't want to. Maybe some people say you don't have a chance anyway. Okay, but I'm just saying, for the record, I don't want to be a writer. I don't want to be making movies or thinking I might make movies. I'm not going to write any screenplays. I'm going to write anything if I can help it. I don't want to write it all. I don't want to work. I'm out of the work world. Thank God. I finally got out of that work world. Oh my God. I hated that work world as much as that work world hated me. So, yeah, I'm glad to be out. Here's the way I've been describing what I want, okay? I was a Beatles fan growing up. And I was around 10 years old when they became famous. 1964, I had turned 10 at the end of 1963. So I was 10 years old when the Beatles became famous. And um, man, was I a Beatles fan. I loved them, and I bought every record they made. They used to have 45s first. There's a small records about this big, and the speed was 45 revolutions per minute. Whereas the big records, the 33 RPMs, they went more slowly, 33 revolutions per minute on the turntables, the record players. But the Beatles, and like others, would bring out like a song, well, it would be two songs, side A of the 45 and side B of the 45. And then after bringing out a series of 45s, they would bring out an album. Well, everything they brought out, every 45, every album, I bought every single one. Right when the album or the 45 came out. Every one. Except that I'm going to quibble. There was one called Revolver. I was saying, when I saw the title of that album, I said, Revolver? This can't be the Beatles. And I didn't buy that one. Because I said, Revolver? The Beatles are not going to write an album with a title like that. They did, but, there was no internet and there was no way of getting information. So I just thought this is some kind of a bootleg album. It's not theirs. And I don't want, and I'm not going to support the idea of a revolver. I don't like that idea, so I didn't buy it. Years and years pass. I'm declared to be crazy when I'm 28, and I'm off into the wasteland of my life. That's ever since I was 28. I've been wandering across this desert. During those years, I did buy Revolver. I bought a tape of it, but by that time, records were gone and there were tapes. Now, I was a Beatles fan, so occasionally I had a Beatles fan magazine. I don't know how I came into possession of one, but I did. And I remember being in bed at night and I'd be going through that magazine, reading religiously. Oh, it said in one of those magazines, it said when Paul got angry, he'd like go up into the bathroom of his house, and to express his anger, he'd tear the curtain, the shower curtain a little. I never did anything like that in my own life, but I thought, oh, interesting. Then I read in the same, I think, a magazine, it said George Harrison, he lived near a soccer stadium, I think. So occasionally he'd go off and have adventures where he'd explore the soccer stadium, this kind of thing. And I read everything about the Beatles throughout my life, so that by the time I'm married and everything, our son, he knows I'm a Beatles fan still. And so one of my birthdays, he buys a biography of Paul McCartney that comes out around then. And that's my birthday present. It was great. I loved it. I read that biography of Paul McCartney. Now, I read several biographies of John Lennon and so on. I read several books about the Beatles and all this, and I was a Beatles fan through and through. Had some Beatles t-shirts and so on. Now, I listened to their music so much that I can pretty much say the order of the songs on all the albums. The first song is this, followed by the next song, and so on, Okay, so I'm a Beatles fan through and through. So the Beatles met with worldwide success, right? And they wanted that. They wanted to be successful musicians, and their success was far greater than I think they could have ever imagined it might be for them. It turned out to be far greater than they ever imagined it might be. So what I'm saying about what's left of my life, as you can see, I'm an old man, getting together with you is the equal in my life to the success that the Beatles experienced, okay? Because what I wanted was somebody like you. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to be a musician. I didn't want to be a writer necessarily. But if being a writer could get me, introduced and into a relationship with somebody like you, then I wanted to be a writer. Well, that didn't work, and I'm an old man, and it never worked, but it may have worked with you. You may have gotten interested in me by reading my books. I don't know. I'll have to find out when we get together. So what I'm saying is, the key to understanding me is my success, if you want to call it that, is to get together with you. This is me becoming worldwide famous, an internationally acclaimed musician, one of the most famous songwriters who ever lived, this kind of thing. This is what getting together with you means to me. Okay? That's my Beatles success. You are my Beatles success. I'm kind of copying an Uncle Sam poster. Uncle Sam was like a characterization of a figure who's supposed to represent America. Uncle Sam, right? So just like old pictures when he's pointing like this to try to get people to join the armed services. I don't know. I'm trying to be as demonstrative as I can be to get my message across. So there it is. So I've held on now for 3 years and 5 months. Yeah, 3 years and 5 months, just over 5 months. I haven't let go. I still believe that the things I saw you saying and the things I've seen you saying, however you've been saying them, They were meant for me, and you did mean what you said. So I'm holding on. I'm saying, if we're not together, it's because you're trying and you can't get to me. I've told you I cannot get to you. I simply can't. I cannot. And so I've been telling you in lots of messages, which I hope you're seeing, that I'm just staying here now. I'm not going to even look you up online because I can't trust any of that stuff now. I got people pursuing me. You probably understand that well, so it doesn't do me any good to go on looking for you anymore, online or anywhere else. So I figure you've got to get to me because I cannot get to you. The best metaphor for that is I'm in a mine cave in. I'm down trapped in a mine. If I'm going to get out, I got to be dug out of there by somebody's got to come dig down and get me out. I'm hoping that somebody's going to be you.